having the right real estate team is important. It's so critical when you get ready to buy a house. So we're going to talk about that. Why you need to have a professional inspector and a good realtor to help you buy a home. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. All right, guys. So Sasha Chatman here with Chatman Realty Group, and this is
Derrick Walls with Superior Inspections.
So Derrick and I were just literally having this conversation about these bad deals we run into, or when we didn't get to work with each other, and how we like and we enjoy working with each other and why. So we just want to have this conversation on camera with you guys real quick. So I don't always get to choose. I don't get to choose the home inspector that I get to work with. You know, the buyer chooses that. I recommend Derrick, right? But sometimes people come with someone else,
Sure.
right? And I was just telling Derrick about this guy that came in, looked at the house, and he kept telling the buyer, like, you don't want to buy this house. You don't want to buy this house. And I'm looking at him like, you're not supposed to say that. All right? You're not supposed to say. You're supposed to advise them and not lead them. I don't even tell them you don't want to buy this house until they start asking my opinion.
Exactly.
And this guy, I swear to you, I would never. If someone comes with this guy again, like, hey, you need to get somebody else, because there's really nothing was wrong with the home, right? It had a couple things that wasn't right, but he went beyond, in my opinion, I don't know if he was using his professional opinion, but he felt like he was trying to protect the client from buying something, but I feel like he wasn't informing, he wasn't educating them at all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I work with you, you educate them, this is what's going on with the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy just kept saying, you want to buy this house, you want to buy this house. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? He's like, it's in my report.
In actuality, that's a no-no. I mean, because Texas Real Estate Commission specifically say for inspectors that we're not to render an opinion on whether or not to buy the house. Our job is to provide information and details to allow the customer to make a decision.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he might have crossed the line on that.
Well, but he was so fast in the way he did the inspection. He did this. It was a 1,500 square foot home, and he did this thing like in an hour and a half. And I'm sitting there when you and I talk, you know, I was like, what time you gonna be? He said 10 o'clock. I said, okay, bet. What time I need to get there? And then you'll tell me what?
12 o'clock, 12:30.
Yeah, like, okay, I'll be there at 12:30. We can go through the report out and all that. This dude was starting this inspection at 10 o'clock, and he was done, guys. He was done like at 10:45. That doesn't mean he's faster than you or better and more efficient. I feel like he was skipping some stuff. So I'm like, yo, so what time you gonna be there? I'm thinking like, you gonna get there at 9 or something? He's like, no, I'll get there at 10. I'm like, 45-minute inspection. Okay. Okay, what do you think about that?
I think I would avoid that like the plague. I mean, there's efficiency. Technology obviously helps us with a lot of things, but man, sometimes there's just a certain amount of time that needs to be allotted to do an adequate job.
Yeah, I would agree. So I enjoy working with you because I know you're going to be thorough, and I know that you're going to be professional in how you educate and communicate with our clients, and you know. Like, we have real talk conversations. I'm like, hey, so what's wrong with this house? And you'll tell me. Sure. Like, hey, Sasha, hey. He gives me that look like, hey. Like, oh, is it bad? He's like, yes. But I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there's some hurdles there. I mean, but that's my job. I mean, sometimes the news is not, the news you want to hear, but at the same time, when you know about it, then you're in a position to get it corrected. So
right.
That's what matters the most.
And I appreciate that because it gives me what I need for negotiations and ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but so I know that some people just sit on that information. So have you seen that happen with agents?
Most definitely. And, I'll just kind of circle back to what you were saying when you opened up with this video talking about having the right real estate team. Mm-hmm. One of the things I want to share with everyone is the real estate agent is there with you from start to finish. And it's very important to have someone like Sasha. I mean, he has experience. He knows the industry. He utilized the latest technology, and those are the type of things that's just going to make that whole process a lot better for you guys as a consumer. Just one of the things that I also would like to highlight with Sasha too is his communication. I mean, I see and I like the way you communicate with not only me, but the way you communicate with the client throughout that process. And so one of the things that make my job easier is the fact that I know that you're going to take the information that we provide, process it in a way that's going to be helpful for the client, and to make sure that those clients get all of their work done in an adequate manner after the inspection is done.
Right.
So again, team concept.
No, I appreciate that because we do really work together as a team because it's like, man, hey, he knows the question I'm going to be asking, like, well, how's the big five? You know, how's the roof? Roof is good. Foundation, oh, man, we got some problems. I'm like, oh, okay. I need to know these things so I can go to work for my client. If the client chooses not to do certain things, that's up to them. But they need to be educated. They need to be informed. They got to know. Sure. And I can tell you as a listing agent sometimes, you know, people's like, oh well, you know, it's fine, Sasha, we're good. Like I can smell that thirsty agent when I know I'm selling a house that I know has problems, and the agent's not asking for anything at all. I'm like, sure. Me personally, I prepare my client. Like, hey, if you know your house is not in great shape, okay, you living in the house, you know you haven't taken care of the roof and things or whatever, and nothing comes up. I'm like, I'm ready to call you. Yeah. For you to come look at it for me as well. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. But that's super important to make sure your agent actually takes that information and do something with it, man.
Most definitely. And one of the things I like about working with you and your team is a lot of agents make the mistake of trying to circumvent the information that we provide. One of the things that I like about Sasha and his team, they welcome the information. That allows me to do my job because I know he's not wanting me to compromise my ethics or whatnot, but he's going to take the information that I give him and just properly work his way through it. And that's just the answer to working through the process, is not avoiding what we discover on our inspections, but you guys do. You'll ask me questions, and that's always good. So to make sure that you are understanding what I'm conveying in my report, and therefore you're in a better position to take that information and get that information done, those repairs done, and have a happy client at the end of the day. So that's definitely one of the things I enjoy about working with your team.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them that too, because you need to be able to do it. We got to take care of clients. So we're here to help you guys through your transaction, and our job is to advise you. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. Your real estate professionals are here to advise you down the process. So when I see my client buying a messed up home that has problems, I tell them.
Sure.
If I see something like, hey, I see foundational cracks, I'm gonna let you know that when I walk you around. You know, like maybe they just fixed the foundation. If we got information on that, that's great. If they did, that's a good thing. But if they haven't, my job is to tell you that. It's not to push you one way or the other, but if you decide to buy a house that has problems, at that point, my job is to help you mitigate those problems, right? Thus, getting Derrick to identify what the issues are, and then getting other professionals, we need to get a roofer or whatever, to say, this is what's going on. To that end, I love the way Derrick communicates because you're really good in your reports and the day of the inspection and reporting out what is home maintenance and what's home repair. Because literally, most buyers are like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I believe a good real estate agent is going to prepare their client to be able to hear the report and not get frightened. Because if you just read an inspection report, you might think, oh, I don't want anything. I don't want this house at all. You know, but his job is to be thorough, and he's very thorough with that. So I appreciate that about you. But just talk about that real quick. When you are going over the report with clients, how do you see it to keep that balance of making sure they understand they're educated and not scared?
Sure. And again, we categorize our information. We help them to understand, as you said, the big five. We will readily identify those things so that they can visually see how we're categorizing the information, and that allows them to, again, align their expectations with what is reality. And so, again, when you have an understanding of what we're presenting and how we're going to present it, and I have an understanding of how you have already set up the client, again, it just, I think, just makes us a better team. It just gives us that cohesion to be able to better serve our clients.
There you go. All right, guys, so we just want to go ahead and have this conversation on camera with you and just let you guys hear how we see things in the buying process and the things that we see that make a good duo and professionals to help you out, from the home inspector to the real estate agent, and how getting those folks who work together can be good. So if you're not in our market and you're somewhere else, get you a good team that works well together. You want to make sure that your agent not suppressing information, they're not sitting on information. You want to make sure your home inspector is completely educating you down the whole process. And if you're in that area and you need our assistance, our information is down below. We'll be happy to work with you. Also, if you're an agent and you're in the area and you haven't figured out your team, you need to get this man on your team to help your agents. Give him a call. To help your buyers. All right. Take care, guys. Peace.